Yes, we are live, guys. Guys, here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be looking into the weekly recap of commodities, gold and silver, and yeah, just to see where we are in time. I want to keep this video at 10 minutes, so I have your full attention for 10 minutes, and then you can go on and do what you what you want to do, really. But yeah, as always, do your own due diligence. This is just how I see the markets, and yeah, thank you for tuning back in, and leave a comment below, likes. Holy shit. Leave a comment below and like and subscribe. And yeah, let's get straight into the chart here, guys. Let's look at the good stuff here. Silver with a bit of a nasty weekly candle, I will say. Um, Getting right here, you can see that is the weekly candle that I'm referring to. And yeah, I had this blue kind of uh, formation here, which I was hoping for that we were going to hold, but clearly not. 30 weekly is starting to turn down, not ideal. So yeah, silver, again, we are still in this overall squeezing here, but maybe some early signs this could be this could be dangerous, I will say, very dangerous. So good. That is silver for you. I mean, you can also see the daily candle here. That is the daily candle for Friday, down 1.7%. So we want to get back above as quickly as possible. You know, this kind of play here is still very much intact. However, I would have preferred that line to hold. Clearly, that is not the case. Gold, also big weekly red candle here. I was hoping again, hope doesn't do anything, but I was hoping for that the 1950 level was going to hold together with the 30 weekly. Clearly, it didn't. It didn't. And now I think we're coming down to the breakout lines here that we have just around 1900. So I think that is where we are going now, and then we will see what happens. Hopefully we have this major breakout retesting, and then we can go higher. But since we lost the 1950, we're going down to 1900s at least now. That is my case here. For gold long term, again, nothing has changed. You know, I think we will at some point in time break that all-time high. But for now, it's not going to happen next week. That is for sure. Also, why gold and silver isn't performing as well is because of the gold to silver ratio, which clearly favors gold. That is not what we want to see. So we have this double green band right there, you know, and we're just grinding it higher and actually closing above here for the first time in a few weeks. And what we don't want to see is to take out that roughly 88. Let me add in a line for you guys right there. Roughly that 88 ratio level. If we close above there, then I think gold and silver will have a hard time. And then we will see where we're going. But obviously, getting above here could spell a bit of disastrous, you know, for the next months to come for gold and silver. That is for sure. Let's look at the Dixie. The Dixie, the dollar here, still, oh, well, not still. We had that major uptrend here, very strong uptrend, and now we are just going sideways here. Large red candle here, and now we're bear flagging. So hopefully we will start to see that rollover, and that will definitely help gold and silver. But if I want to show you if the dollar for some reason tricks everyone, people was saying here that right here when we broke down that is it, that is the end of the run up here. I even said that as well. But if we start to curl higher and break out here, then that will fool a lot of people again, and that will cause the gold to silver ratio to spike, and gold and silver come down big time. So let's see how it acts within this bull flag here. You can see it here on the hourly. You know, the major drop down here into a bear flag. So we're still bear flagging on the 1 hourly, and yeah. So let's see how it reacts. The 10-year had that breakdown here and retesting, and we're actually back into the rising wedge here. So which is also putting pressure on the dollar, on the gold and silver. So let's see here when and if the retesting is done, if we can get that scoop down again for the 10-year. But it is definitely strong still. Yeah, that is it. Oil here, I want to go to the weekly, finding No, I don't. I want to go to the daily. There it is. All right. The dollar has been, ever since we hit 95, we are now at roughly 77. Finding some support here at this green trend line here. Bit of a fake down below, and now we're actually above. That is a good early sign for oil. And I mentioned here that we could actually go move all the way down to roughly 74, and we have now stopped at 75. So I think we are in that zone where people are starting to become buyers again. And again, you know, the sentiment for oil right now is that it's going to crash. I think we will find a lot of buyers here at that 74, 75, 73 dollar level, and then we will see how strong the buyers are. But for now, we are getting some early bird signs that okay, maybe we have a shorter term bottom here. Finally, something happened in palladium, and you know this major wedge here we've been looking at for ages, and now I laid out two possibilities. You know, a major huge capitulation move here, or we were going to break out, and clearly we have had the first option with that major capitulation move. And you can also see the daily here is just red, red, red all over the place here. This right now, this is a log scale. So for it to having to go almost vertical down on a log scale means capitulation here. And I do think right now that I had my level here at roughly 1150. Clearly that didn't hold and we splashed through. So if 1150 had held, I think we would have had that upturn. Clearly not. We are going down here. Where do we have support? I'm just adding in here some quick lines. I think that is where we will find the first support. So roughly 850 to 900. That is where I think we will find the bottom here again. Well, not find the bottom. At least we will see some buyers there. That is what I'm thinking, and then we will see how strong the buyers are for palladium. Platinum thing looking with a very weak or big red candle, depending on how you want to refer to it. Very bearish, very, very bearish view for platinum as well. We had this green support in, but then we started to come up here. I removed it, so there's not a lot of stuff going on the screen. I have added it in here again, which is that 800 buy zone here. You can see it here. People are buying here. Yes, obviously March crash, buying and buying. So I think we'll come down to 800, and then we will see if people are stepping in once again at that demand zone at roughly 800 for platinum. But still, the weekly candle you can see here closing, opening at the highs all the way down. That's not looking good. Also, what is not looking good is copper. You know, breakdown here from that double support. Retesting now has happened, and now we're starting to show signs that we are rolling over. So if we lose that $3.5 in copper, then copper is going way lower than from where we are today. In my view, that is also signs of possible recession, because copper going up is clearly a good sign for the economy. Going down, the opposite. Nat gas with a big fake out here, still within this uptrend right there. So that's all fine and good. However, this is a bearish channel, bearish flag, depending on how you want to pronounce it. So we need this $3 nat gas to hold. And yeah, in my view, we're still trying to put in a major bottom after we hit that long-term golden trend line there. But yeah, definitely faking out that trend line there is not ideal. And let's see how low nat gas can go really, if we get below that $3 level. But I think all this is because people are starting to think that we're going to have a warm winter in Europe. Same thing here for the Dutch TTF. Same chart really, coming down. Now at least we have our big level to look for, which is 55, and yeah, and now we are stuck in between 44 and 55. So I think these levels are important to, at least 44 is important to hold. As you can see here, support, resistance, resistance, and now support. And 55 is obviously the level we want to go through. Newcastle oil here, excuse me, coal, my bad. is getting a bounce here at the 2018 high, getting a bounce there. Nothing to really get exciting about at the moment. It is just a technical bounce. I do think that we still have the possibility to go all the way down here a tad above 100 to really kiss that long-term golden trend line there. Major breakout, major crash retest into roughly 105. That is still my take, but we are getting a decent bounce here today, but I think it doesn't mean anything in my view. Not in the long term. I think we still have one leg down to go. Bitcoin, very interesting moment in time. I want to show you. This is the rising bearish wedge that has been formed for the past 18 months or so. Bitcoin, huge run, major run up, mostly in my view on the ETF spot approval hype. Nothing more, nothing less. However, look where we are now, right at the apex for Bitcoin, and that is a very interesting moment in time, because if we start to collapse here, obviously that's not going to look good for the bulls. However, can we hold the ground here? Then we have a good reasoning to move higher and actually hit our inverted head and shoulders target right there at roughly 42K. So that right there is a very interesting point in time for me to see what will happen for our beloved Bitcoin. But I think this is only purely ETF hype, just like we had over here. The futures spot approval, hype, and then sell the news. I think we are in the same thing again. I could be wrong, but that is my case until proven otherwise. So good. Here we have spot price. Nothing has happened. Still at the Fukushima highs. Nothing to worry about. I still think we can go retest that golden trend line there. Nothing new compared to the last video. Sugar. Bull flagging there, broken out, and now we're just trying to get past the highs there of that flag high at roughly 27.4. The bull flag target, in my view, is roughly 33. So for now, it's one big good uptrend for sugar until proven otherwise. I think we can add in a trend line coming down from here to there. Let's make it green as support. I think that's very valid. So as long as we're above that one, it's all fine. It's all looking great. Okay, soybeans. Also with some interesting price action. We had that midweek breakout here, right there. That is the breakout of that golden trend line here. And now we are actually retesting it very briefly from the upside here. If you go to the daily, you can see retest, okay, getting a bit of a bounce. However, what I'm looking for now is if the retest holds, then we're going higher. And the 30 weekly has held as well. However, if this is a false breakout and we're starting to drop down, very bearish view, getting below the 30 weekly and that golden trend line with a false breakout. And then I think, these lows down here, they will not hold in my view. So roughly 1,200 and maybe 12,000, no, 1,280, excuse me, will not hold if this is a false breakout. It's still bearish in my view, that head and shoulders formation. So the overall sentiment for soybeans is still down in my view. Nickel, the chart is broken. I don't know what's going on there. Again, silver, bad week for silver. However, we are still in this expanding formation above the golden trend line, which is very important when we measure it against the M2 money supply. So still bullish consolidation until proven otherwise. But again, that can change quickly if silver really wants to dump here. Gold actually doesn't, the gold measured against M2 doesn't look so bad. Blue bull flag here, broken to the upside. And what's happening now is the very important retest of the blue bull flag, but also that long-term bad boy right there, that long-term trend line going back to 2011, the peak, the previous peak in the bull market, when gold was in a bull market. And now we're coming down again. So we really want to see that one hold, and then we can go higher. For gold, but we measured it against M2 money supply. So let's see next week, next 2 weeks, what happens here. Hopefully we get that bounce, and the scare should be coming off. You can also see we have a lot of support here coming all the way across. So major support zone here. If that can't hold, I don't think much will in the short term at least. So that is all I had for today, guys. 10 minutes. I don't know. Maybe it was 13. I don't know. Yeah. Give me a comment below, guys. Enjoy your weekend. I certainly will. And then we will be back next week with all the stuff that we do: gold and silver, uranium, ETFs, shipping, uranium miners in Canada and in the US. Did I miss anything? Maybe. It doesn't matter. Have a great one, guys. Cheers.